Ellsworth stepped past the humming energy barrier into the beast pit. Shouts erupted from the tiered court above. "Human, stop! It will rend you!" Sivra exploded from the shadows. The apex predator slammed against the inner restrained field, fangs bared in a snarl that shook dust from the stone walls. Fresh chain links shattered under its thrash. Sport for the creature, entertainment for the Vesh nobles. Blood streak its obsidian scales from old wounds. Yellow eyes fixed on Ellie, promising death. Ellie raised both hands, palms open and empty. He froze mid-stride. No flinch, no retreat. The Emperor's throne loomed at the pit's edge. Karun leaned forward, his armored crest flaring. Chamberlain Odrin hissed beside him. "This destabilizes protocol, Majesty. Remove the variable." Captain Relvaskar gripped his stun lens tighter. His scad shifted behind him, visors locked on the pit. Ellie held Sivra's gaze. The beast pace, muscles rippling like coiled cables. Its breath came in hot gusts, ragged from pain collars embedded in its neck. Ellie matched it. Inhale deep, exhale slow. Chest rising, falling in sync. Shivra. Ellie sighed in flawless besh. Voice steady. Shala. Hello! The court fell silent. Sivra halted. One massive claw scraped stone. It tilted its head, nostrils flaring. Baska barked. Stun team advance. Pattern Delta. 3 guards surged forward, lances charging with blue wine. Ellie snapped his free hand up, palm out toward Baska. No words. Who's the gesture? Universal. Ale. It never broke eye contact with Sivra. The beast tracked the guards. Hackles rose. A low growl built. Baska hesitated. His jaw clenched under the helmet. "Stand down," he ordered his team. They froze. Sivra's eyes snapped back to Ellie. Locked, the growl faded. It sniffed the air, testing. Ellie lowered his signaling hand. Slowly. Shala, Sivra, no rush. No fight. The creature circled him now, close enough for Ellie to smell the metallic tang of its blood-matted fur. Chains dragged behind, half-broken trophies. Ellie stayed still. It watched its tail flick and sing, ears pinned back. Caution, not rage. Above, Harun's claws tapped his throne arm. The human mimics its breath. Bold or suicidal.
Odrin sputtered.
Linguistics trickery, majesty. Sivra mouse handlers. It serves only through pain. Ellie knelt, one knee to the stone, hands still visible. Mirar Sivra's lowered head. Bek Shala, murmured. "I see you." Sivra paused circle. It lowered its massive head to his level. Hot breath washed Ellie's face. Fangs gleamed inches away. The court inhaled as one. Baska edged closer to the barrier. "Envoy Ward, extract now. That's an order." Ellie ignored him. He extended one hand, fingers loose, not grabbing. Offering. Sivra sniffed his palm. Tongue flicked out. Test the taste. No snap. No blood. Harun rose. Captain hauled. Let the outsider prove his claim. The beast nudged Ellie's hand. Rough scales. Scrapes. Ellie couped its jaw. Gently. Thumb traced a pain-collar scar. "Word," he said softly in Bess. "No more." Sivra leaned in. Weight pressed Ellie's arm. Not attack. Acceptance. Gasps rippled through the court. Odrin recoiled. Impossibly. Pain conditioning binds it. Ellie stood slowly, hand never leaving the jaw. Sivra rose with him, towering yet still. "Walk?" Ellie asked. It took a step back. Sivra matched it. Chains clinked. Baska squad lowered lances. The captain's eyes widened behind his visor. It follows. Ellie led the beast in a slow circuit of the pit. Sivra's eyes stayed on him, not the guards, not the court. Tai relaxed now, swaying. Karaun descended his throne steps, Robes whispered over stone. "Oh, man, explain this without flattery." Ellie stopped, hand on Sivra's crest. "Communication, majesty, not force." Sivra responds to rhythm, breath, greeting. Trust builds deliberate. Odrin interjected. "Delusion! The beast weaponizes for your campaigns. It craves Pine's command." Sivra growled at Odrin's voice, ears flattened. Ellie stroked its neck. "Easy." The growl stopped. Karan circled them both. His gaze pierced Ellie. You treat my royal terror as equal? Partner, Ellie corrected. Loyalty earned, not chained. Vasca stepped to the barrier's edge. Results speak, Chamberlain. No mauling today. The Emperor halted before Sibra. The beast tense, but held. Karun extended a cloud-tipped hand. Sibra sniffed it. No lunge. Remarkable. Harun murmured. Humans. Whisper to masters. Ellie smiled faintly. We listen first. Odrin fumed. This undermines order. The court demands demonstration. Unleash it fully, Murmurs agreed. Nobles leaned forward, crest flaring excitement. Karun's eyes gleamed. Very well. Captain, release the remaining chains. Vasca stiffened. Majesty, now. Guards darted forward. Magnets disengage. Chains pulled on the stone with a final clank. Sivra shook free. Muscles flex. The pit thrummed with its power. Cord held breath. Odrin smirked. Eli stood firm. Sibra, stay. Ignored the nobles. Ignored the Emperor. Sat on haunches, eyes locked on Eli. Silence crashed like a wave. Karun laughed. A deep, resonant bark. The Mauler sits for a soft-skinned envoy. Odrin pallid. Coincidencias. Pine lingers. Test it, Karun commanded Vasca. The captain hefted his lance. Approach, beast. Sibra rose, padded forward. Stop at Eli's side. Flanked him protectively. Vasca lowered the weapon. Respect flickered in his stance. Eli felt the weight of eyes. Sivra's warmth beside him. Trust, deliberate, action, not demand. Karun ascended his throne. Chamberlain, not this. The human stabilizes my weapon. Odrin bowed stiffly. As you decree. Envoy ward, Karun called. Your services expand. Train my handlers, or Shivra answers to you alone. Agreed. But no more colors. The Emperor posed. Then inclined his crest. Negociable. Sibra nudged Eli's shoulder. Rambo, content. Vasca signaled his team back. Court dismiss. Secure the pit. As nobles filled out, whispering of human magic. Eli scratched Sibra's jaw. The beast leaned in harder, but Odrin's glare lingered from the shadows. Destabilizing variable. Indeed. Eli met it evenly. Trust formed. Massacre verte. Formao. Sibra's ears perked. A distant roar echoed from palace depths. Another beast. Eli tensed. What now? The creature pressed closer. Loyal. Ready. Karun watched from his throne. Calculating. Tomorrow we test true loyalty. Against my rivals. Eli exhaled. Matched Sivra's breath again. One step at a time. The pit barrier hummed back to life. But Sivra stayed at his side. Unchained. Unbroken. Vasca approached cautiously. Envoy, how? Eli glanced at the scars. Listen. Don't demande. The captain nodded slowly. Besh way fails here. Yours burrs. Above, Harun smiled. Humans. Underestimated. No more. Sibra growled softly. Protective. Eli's hand rested on its crest. The court emptied. But tension coiled tighter. Odrin slipped away last. His whisper to Aidi removed the human. Before it unravels us. Eli didn't hear, but Sibra's head snapped toward the sound. Fangs gleamed. Eli soothed it. Soon, trust deepened. Action by action. The Emperor's gaze burned. Weaponized beast tamed by compassion. What next for the Imperium? Siva rumbled approval. Eli smiled. They walked out together. Eli thumbed the drone's activator. It with silver shell gleaming under throne hall lights and plunged into the beast pit 20 meters below. Sibra exploded from the shadows. The royal beast, a coiled mass of iridescent scales, razor spines, and jaws like hydraulic shears, snapped the drone mid-fall. Sparks flew. Metal crunched into scrap. Gasps rippled through the Vesh court. Chamberlain Odrin stiffened beside Emperor Karun's throne. Captain Vasca gripped his shock lens tighter. Eli didn't flinch. He pulled a second drone from his belt pouch. Identical model. Fresh battery. 1 data point down. Need more. Othering's mandibles clicked. Envoy, ward, recall your toy. Zebra mauls anything that drops. Ellie ignored him. He synced the second drone to his wrist pad and released it. It spiraled down, scanners whirring, capturing every growl, every rasp. Zebra's head whipped up. C's amber eyes locked on the intruder. A low rumble built vocal patterns Ellie craved. Then warning clicks, sharp, staccato bursts echoing off pit walls. The drone hovered steady. Zebra lunged, jaws clamped. Another crunch. Shards rained onto bloodstained stone. Ellie synced the recordings. Played back the clicks through his suit speaker. Match pitch. Replicated rhythm. Click, click, click. Zebra froze. Ears frilled vents along its crest, twitched. It tilted its massive head, spines flattening slightly. Ellie caught the playback. Silence, stretched. He stepped to the pit edge barrier field, humming against his boots. No demands, no retreat. Who's waited? The beast huffed, settled onto haunches. Eyes narrowed but no charge. Exchange ended on Ellie's terms. Baska exhaled. It listened. Harun leaned forward, multifaceted eyes gleaming. Explain. Communication. Ellie sighed. Not conquest. Zebra's conditioned to pain. I spoke its language first. Odrin scuttled forward. Provocation. You endangered a royal asset. I petition execution for destabilizing protocol. Karun's glow silenced him. Petition denied. Envoy, repeat this. Contact. Here. Now. Full court witnesses. Ellie nodded. No hesitation. He vaulted the barrier, field parting on his override coat, and dropped into the pit on repulsor boots. 15 meters down. Landed soft amid drone wreckage. Zebra rose, towered twice Ellie's height. Fangs dripped venom. Espinas quivered. Court held breath. Baska primed his lance. Odrin whispered to Ides. Ellie raised empty hands. Matched Zebra's earlier huff. Precise frequency from the logs. A step closer. Slow. The beast snarled. Tested the lunge at a half pace. Ellie held ground. Copied the warning clicks again. Softer this time. Paused. Mirrored its head tilt. Zebra posed. Sniffed the air. Human scent mixed with ozone from crushed drones. Lowered crest an inch. Ellie extended a hand. Not to pet. To offer steady presence. Your move. Minutes ticked. Zebra thickled. Prodded Ellie's boot with a claw. Sharp enough to slice armor. Drew back. No maul. Babgarum rumbled approval. Bash handlers break them. You, Combevs. Baska lowered his lance. Captain's log. Uman neutralizes. Threat without weapons. Odrin seetheth. This Andrabos order. The beast submits to none. Ellie scratched Zebra's jaw scale, rough, warm under his fingers. The beast leaned in. Har. A rumble vibrated through Ellie's bones. Not threat, acceptance. Trust sparked. Deliberate, ernet. Barrier hummed back up. Ellie climbed out. Zebra stayed put, but watched him go. Karen rose. Tomorrow we test true loyalty. My rivals, master fleets. Zebra weapons them. With you, human. Ellie glanced at the scars crisscrossing Zebra's flanks. Pain conditioning marks. Listen first. Always. Court murmured. Whispers of human magic spread. Otherin's glare burned from shadows. Destabilis invariable. Ellie met it evenly. Zebra's ears perked from the pit. A distant roar echoed from palace depths. Kin beast? Ellie tensed. The creature pressed its snout to the barrier. Loyai. Ready. Garum watch. Calculating. One step at a time, envoy. Baska approached. How? Best ways fail. Ellie tapped his wristpad, logs compiling. Solve the puzzle. Done demand submission. Captain nodded. Yours works. Court emptied. Tension coiled. Hodring slipped away last. His whisper carried, remove the human, before it unravels us. Ellie didn't hear. But Zebra's head snapped toward the sound. Fangs gleamed. Ellie soothed with a match huff. Soon. The Emperor's gaze lingered. Weaponized beast, tamed by compassion, Zebra rumbled. Ellie smiled. They seemed breaths across the barrier. Pit lights dimmed. Guards escorted Ellie to quarters. Baska at his side. Imperium fears Zebra for reason, Baska said, mouths 3 handlers yearly. Garun's policy, fear binds loyalty. Ellie reviewed logs, vocal patterns decoded. 47. Fear breaks eventually. Understanding holds. Baska's spines twitched. Amusement. You drop machines into death. Replace without blink. Bish hesitate. Practical, Ellie said. Data over dread. Quarters door. Hissed open. Sparsi, sleep, slab, translator, Reich, viewport to starlit spires. Ellie synced full dataset. Zebra's clicks layered with subharmonics, pain echoes, rage flares. Human ears missed them. His algorithms didn't. Alert, pinget. Audrine's petition forwarded, cloaked channel. Execution for provocation. Ellie forwarded to Harun. Direct. Replay, instant. Proceed to pit at dawn. Arm Zebra for rebels. Prove your bond. Down broke Crimson over Vesh capital. Ellie geared up. Reinforced suit. No weapons. Drone 3 primed. Chamber sealed. Zebra paced below. Unchained for test. Karun's voice boomed. Boy. Commanded. Ellie dropped barrier. Entered. Zebra wheeled. Eyes locked. No clicks needed. Beast approached, nuzzled Ellie's shoulder, gentle for its bulk. Kurt gasped anew. Odrin pale. Harness, Ellie said. Pointed to wall rack, a spike collar. Painlings. Zebra ignored it. Stayed at Ellie's side. Karun laughed. Rare thunder. It chooses you. Baska saluted. Security breach resolved. Human method integrates. Odrin protested. Presidente. Protocol. Evolves Karun Kut. Prepare for rivals. Zebra leads vanguard. With ward. Ellie rested hand on crest. Zebra leaned harder. Bond solidified. Fleet alarms wailed distant. Rival incursion. Ellie exhaled. Ready. Zebra growled protective. Fangs buried towards doors. They strode out together. Unchained. Odrin's whispered trail. Unravels whiz. But Zebra heard. Espinas flatted. Ellie matched stride. Trust deepened action by action. Imperium shifted. Humans no longer underestimated. Rivals awaited. Massacre loomed unless compassion held. Zebra rumbled approval. Ellie nodded. One boundary set. More to claim. Ellie strode into the throne hall, boots echoing off polished obsidian floors. No weapons hung at his belt. His reinforced suit hugged his frame. Drawny feet live in his earpiece. Zebra loaned beside Emperor Karun's dice, muzzled, spineless rigid, yellow eyes scanning the assembled court. Hundreds of Vesh nobles filled the tiered benches. Chamberlain Odrin hovered at Karun's elbow, mandibles clicking disapproval. Captain Rel Vasca stood guard at the hall's edge, plasma rifle primed. Karun's voice boomed, amplified by throne implants. Envoy Ward, you petitioned this audience. Speak your purpose. Ellie halted at the hall center, palms open. He locked eyes with Zebra first. The beast's tail flicked once. Tension signal. Ellie noted the distance, 15 meters. Zebra's proven comfort zone from pit logs. Emperor, Ellie said, voice steady through his translator collar. Permission to approach Zebra. Unarmed, to demonstrate bond protocols. Odrin leaned in, whispering furiously. Karun silenced him with a claw slash. Granted, but breached the line, and Baska ends it. Ellie nodded. He advanced in measured steps, counting strides. 10 meters. Zebra's nostrils flat, scenting him. 8. A low rumble built in the beast's chest. 6. Court murmurs rose. At 15 meters exact, Zebra's tail stilled. Ellie stopped. He crouched low, hands visibly. Easy, Zebra. Hold position. The beast's eyes narrowed. Muzzle straps creaked under jaw pressure. Ellie read the micro-twitches. Overload from crowd proximity. Pine conditioning clashed with new inputs. Karun leaned forward. It mauled 3 handlers last cycle. What bond do you claim, human? Ellie kept focus on Zebra. Trust isn't chained, Emperor. It's earned, step by step. Odrin scoffed. Delusion. The beast serves fear, not pets. Sivra lunges forward a half pace, straps snap like brittle bone. Jaws parted, fangs gleamed, 2 feet of serrated death. The cord erupted. Nobles screamed, mandibles clacking in panic. Ropes tangled as they bolted for exits. Odrin dove behind the dice. Baska raised his rifle, barking orders. Guards fanned out, weapons hot. Sivra wheeled toward the fleeing mass, spines flaring to full crest. Massacre primed. Eli exploded upright. Stop! His right hand shot, palm out. Universal, held in Betch Beast protocols. Amplified by his suit emitter. Left hand pointed firm to the open hall center, away from benches and throne. Sivra froze. Head snapped to Eli, yellow eyes locked. The rumble shifted, query tone. Here! Eli commanded. Voice iron. It tapped his chest, then the open safe, son. With me. The beast pivoted. Massive bulk swung away from Karun's dice. It planted itself between Eli and the advancing guards. 6 tons of muscle and claw, shielding the human. Tile swept low, blocking Vaska's line of fire. Or Stampede halted at the exits. Nobles pressed against sealed doors. Optics wide, Vaska hesitated. Rifle train on Sivra's flank. Emperador. Karun rose, claws gripping thrown arms. No fear scented his tense. Calculation gleamed. Hold, Captain. Observe. Eli exhaled, slow, a edge forward. One hand extended. Sibra's spines eased a fraction. It reached her shoulder, hot scales under palm. She leaned into the touch, rumble softening to purr. You chose, Eli murmured. Good call. Odrin picked from cover. Impossible. Rewire the muscle. Silence. Harwin snapped. It descended the dice steps, ropes swirling, wards parted. Sibra tracked him but held position, body barricade firm. Eli met the Emperor's gaze. Pain made her weapon. Patiences makes ally. Karun circled them slow. Sibra's head follow. Jaws parted but still. She guarded you. Not me. Trust. Redirects. Eli said. She reads intent. Crowd was threat. Wards are now. Neutralt. Till proven. Baska lowered his rifle a notch. Uman disrupted bridge without force. Logs confirm. 0 casualties. Odring sputtered. From hiding. Protocol demands execution. This outsider destabilizes. Harun halted before Shivra. He extended a claw. Slow, deliberate. The beast sniffed, then ignored it. Turned back to Eli. The Emperor retracted his claw. Laughter rambled. Deep. Unforced. Undecimated. Human compassion. As tactic. Besh. Conquer with dread. You redirect. Eli scratched Sivra's crest. She nudged harder, nearly toppling him. Default. Human's bond. Cross-species standard. Dogs, horses, even apex pets. Communication first. Court whisper swelled. Doors. Dawn seal. Nobles crept back. Optics fixed. Explain dogs. Karun demanded. Eli straightened. Sivra stayed glued to his side. Pack animals. Loyal to Alpha, who provides without pain. Sivra's like that. Needs reference point, not master. Vaska approached cautious. Test. Order to yield. Eli glanced at Sivra. Stand down. He waved. Sivra stepped aside, exposing Eli but angling toward Vaska. Guartens then saluted crisp. Control, transfert, intergrates. Odrin stormed forward. This mocks Imperium hierarchy. Pit her against rivals unchained. Proof or perish. Karun's eyes narrowed. Agreed, don't pit. Arm Sivra for incursion drills. Word commands. Eli nodded. No flinch. Sivra growled approval, fangs flashing at Odrin. The Chamberlain recoiled. Madness. Opportunity, Karun countered. Rivals probe borders. Sivra leads vanguard. With human, court erupted in murmurs, fear laced with awe. Eli rested hand on Sivra's flank. Heat pulsed under scales. Bond locked. Action sealed it. Baska signal guards. Security. Al. Human method locks priority. As nobles dispersed, Odrin cornered Eli sidelong. You unravel us, softkin. One. Slips. Spines flared. Odrin fled. Eli smirked. She decided slips now. Karun watched from throne. Dawn approaches. File, and both Forfeit.
Ellie led Sivra toward archway.
She match stride perfect. We won't. Alarms wail distant, fleet pinged, rebels inbound. Sivra rumbled low, protective. Ellie nodded, throne emptied. Behind them, trust claimed its ground. Massacre averted, for now. Pita waited. Rivals massed. Ellie checked drone feed. Incursion vectors hot. Sivra's eyes gleamed, battle ready. He whispered, together. She pressed closer. One boundary set. Imperium watch. Dawn broke crimson. Ellie geared for pit trap. No weapons. Suit reinforced. Sivra paced below, unchained. Garen's voice boomed over comms. Profit, envoy. Barrier dropped. Ellie entered. Sivra wheeled, locked eyes. Approach, deliberate. Nuzzled his shoulder, gentle despite bulk. Court gasped from observation tears. Othering, pallet behind viewport. Harness, Ellie said. Pointed to wallrack, spike collar, pine links. Sivra ignored. Steed flank. Karun's laugh thundered. It chooses you. Pasca saluted via com. The security breach resolve. Human protocols integrate. Odrin protested. Evolved, Karuncat. Prepare vanguard. Sivra with ward. Eli palmen crest. Sivra leaned. Bond Iron. Fleet alarms peaked. Eli exhaled. Ready. Sivra barret bangs at pit doors. They strode out. Unchained. Odrin's whisper trailed. Unravels us. Sivra heard. Espines flatted. Eli matched pace. Trust deepened. Humans. Respected now.
Revels loomed. Compassion held the line. Or broke.
Sivra rumbled. Eli gripped tighter. Javje. Pit gates, iris white. Bish. Vanguard assembled. Spears. Plasma lances. Rivel drones. Based perimeter. Testing shields. Karun flanked by Odrin. And Baska addressed ranks. Witness. Human leads apex. Eli stepped forward. Sivra at heel. Troops parted wary. Form wedge, Eli called. Gestud Veshpater. Sivra mirror. Body signaling flanks. Baska nodded approval. Flawless sync. First rival scout breach. Cloaked fighter. Weapons live. Sivra launched. Clouds shredded hull midair. Wreckage smoked. Troops charged behind. Eli directed drone fire. Precis bends. Odrin gaped. No losses. Karun gripped. Throne remote. Expand method. All beasts. Retrain. Human way. Eli wipe drone icor. Sivra nuzzled. Gore smeared shoulder. Imperium shifted. Trust weaponized. Not by demand, but deed. Rival fleet darkened skies. Sivra growled challenge. Eli smiled. Let's talk them down first. Compassion said sharpened. Eli slammed his translator gauntlet on the throne room dice. No restraints for Sivra. Deliver fresh meat slabs and clean water troughs. Now. Emperor Karun's multifaceted eyes narrowed from his elevated perch. The Vish monarch's chitinous claws tapped the armrest remote. Sivra's pain collar control. Human envoy presumes. Beasted mouths on sight. Chamberlain Odrin scuttled forward, robes whispering over polished obsidian floors. Protocol demands sedation darts. These gift risks, coarse slaughter. Eli held Karun's gaze. His linguistics implants hummed, parsing the Emperor's gravelly subharmonics. Restraints breed rage. Service bills, choice. Tested. Karun's, mandibles, clicked amusement, or threat. Captain Baska. Escort soft skin. Rifles hot. Feed or die. Baska snapped to attention, his armored exosuit whirring. Compliance, Majesty. He waved the squad forward, plasma rifles humming at low charge. Oh man! Movie! Eli followed the captain through bolted corridors pulsing with bioluminescent veins. Palace air thickened with ozone and musk. Distant drawers echoed. Sibra's kin, no doubt. Baska's troops flanked him, barrels locked on his back. You court death, Baska growled. Sivra shredded 3 handlers last cycle. Claws like Monmol blades. Eli nodded. Not dead. Keep distance. He solved puzzles, not punched them. The feeding pen loomed. A cavernous pit, ringed by force fields, floor scarred with claw gouges. Chains rattled from shadowed recesses. Sivra crouched at the center, a mountain of iridescent scales. Spines flared like spear tips, jaws parted over fangs dripping venom, yellow eyes fixed on Eli, pupils slitting to needles. Rifles, wind-up charge. Baska bark. Feed pole deployed. One mistake. We vaporize both. Servitors dump meat slabs and a water bladder through the chute. Ellie gripped the extended pole, a telescoping rod ending in a claw-hinge scoop. Extended it slow, 20 meters across the pit. Easy, big guy. Hungry? Zebra lungeth. Chains snapped taut. The pole shuddered as jaws clamped emptier inches from the scoop. Ely yanked back. Meat intact. Hat hammered, but hands steady. Analyzed. Test. Snap. Not full comet. Classic probe. Again. Pull forward. Scoop dipped in water first. Clear. Liquid gleamed under pen lights. Zebra's nostrils flatted. Spinous twitching. Ellie nudged the trough forward. Drink. The beast's head lowered fractionally. Tongue flicked out. Bast rasped like sandpaper. Water slurped. No snap. Baska muttered into corms. Anomaly. No attack. Ellie scooped a meat slab next. Juices dripping. Extended deliberate. Zebra tracked the motion. Muscles coiling. Jaws parted. Ellie withdrew a heartbeat early. Slab safe. Hot breath fogging the pole tip. Third pass. Water again. Zebra drank deeper. Eyes half-letting. Ellie spoke low. Universal calm tones his implants modulated. Good. More. Meet this time. Closer range. Zebra's mouth hovered, then engulfed the scoop. Chews crunched bone audible across the pit. Ellie pulled smooth. No snatch. Troops shifted boots. Odring's voice crackled over external speakers. Sufficient. Retract. Not yet. Ellie set the pole aside. Rifle snapped up. Baska hissed. Madness. Ellie raised palms. Watch. Eslo blinked it. Zebra. Deliberate. Twice. Leads. Heavy. Fill-in signal. I mean no harm. Implants cross-reference from old Earth archives. Adapted for apex predators. Zebra stared. Pitch silent sape chain clinks. Then mirrored. Slow blinks. Deliberate. Massive head tilted. Ellie edge to the force field edge. Lower one panel. 30 seconds. Baska's claw hovered over controls. Imperium code. Do it, Karun's voice boomed from overhead. Hollows, or join the maimed. Panicked. Down. Ellie stepped over threshold. Boots crunching gravel. Zebra rose tower high, spinous quivering. Venom drip sizzling on stone. Ellie extended hand, palm up. No dominance curl. Touch. Beast loomed. Jaws parted, breath like forge winds. For the plate gleamed. Armor crest above eyes. Zebra lowered it very. Ellie pressed palm flat. Warmth pulsed under scales. Like sun-baked stone. No flinch. No maul. Cord gasp via com feeds. Odrin sputtered. Impossible. Fine conditioning breakable. Ellie stroked the plate, firm circles. Zebra lead in weight shifted forward. Thrust flicker. Cut the time. Ellie tapped foreplate twice. Sharp yes sound. Tick tick. Then once. Soft. No. Talk. Repeat. Yes. Zebra's throat vibrated. Tick tick echoed back. Precise. No. Ellie tapped once. Talk. Baska lowered rifle a notch. Sync. Confirm. Bias response. Ellie grinned. Palm still on crest. Yes means partner. Was ready. Tick tick. Zebra's tail thrashed once. Affirmative whack. Karun's laughter rumbled. Human engineers' loyalty. Betraying all. But prove. In arena tomorrow. Rivalem voicing bound. Zebra guards your flank. Ellie nodded, withdrawing hand. Zebra blinked slow again. Panel rose. Troops backed out, wary. Back in throne room, Odrin blocked Ellie's path. Destabilizes hierarchy. Beaths bow to fear, not done. Slop. Results destabilize nothing. Ellie see the stacked. Ask Zebra. Emperor waved dismissal. Baska, billet de human near pen. Monitor. Night cycle cell. Ellie paced his Spartan quarters, replaying holofeed. Zebra paced mirror image in pen, spine is relaxed, implants, bust, new data. Bess harmonics laugh with curiosity tones now. Down claxons blared, Baska bursting. Arena, master. Rivals proper borders. Scouts downed but fleet masses. Ellie grabbed gear vest. Zebra. Chain per protocol. You lead. Pendors irisei. Zebra snarled the chains. Ellie knelt. No. Duck, head, shake. Eli unclasp, manual override. Risky but code held. Chains pulled. Sivra rose unchained. God assembled in arena sands. Karun frowned high, Odrin fidgeting. Baskas squat tense. Rival drones hum perimeter. Cloaked scouts testing shields. Probe, Karab. Harun commanded. Eli palmed crest. Wedge form, tick-tick. Sivra wheeled. Body angling flanks, Vesh style. Troops, Gabe. Baska saluted. Integrates. First scout breached. Plasma lancing. Sivra launched. Klaus raked hull mid-leap. Wreckage crater. Eli directed. Vents. Flank fire. Exhaust ports. Vanguard charge precise. No losses. Odring whispered. Rabus protocol. Garau. Gripped. Remote pocketed it. Unused. Expand. Human method. Albis recondition. Rival fleet darkened skies. Eli wiped Ichor. Sivra nuzzled shoulder. Talked them down first. Tick-tick. Fangs barred. Challenge. Compassion sharpened to blade. Fleet alarms peak. Eli grip spines. Charge. They strode. Bond iron. But Odrin's eyes narrowed at shadows. Whispers spread. Iman too effective. Remove variable. Sivra rumbled. Warning. Eli matched stride. Trust deepened. Rivals loomed. One leak. One betrayal, massacre, Basca comet, perimeter breach, ambassador drone, inbound, demands parley. Eli smiled. Let it land. Words first. Sivra growled assent. Court held breath. Oman way, not conquer. Connect. Drone touch sand, hatch hissing. Alien, envoy emerge. Scale like Karun, but rival crest. Imperium falls. Eel beast. Eli step forward. Sivra at heel. Talk terms. What if? Envoy blink confusion. Sivra slow blink back. Odrin tenseth. Baska gripped rifle. Karun watch. Trust tested anew. Not just beast. Whole Imperium. Eli offered hand. Envoy hesitated. Klaus met palm. No snap. Fleet hung, poised. Compassion's line held. Barely. Rival admiral's voice boomed from drone. Alliance or annihilation? Eli glanced. Sivra. Tick-tick. Both, he said. Start with Y. Sands shifted. New game began. Chamberlain Odrin edged closer to Sivra's pen during the parley drone's hum. Eli caught the flicker from the corner of his eye. Odrin palmed the small canister. Slipped it through the gate bars. The air thickened with a sharp acrid tang, like burnt chitin mixed with acid. Sivra recoiled. Spines flared. A guttural roar split the tense silence. The rival envoy froze mid-sentence. What treachery! Sivra looms at the gate. Klaus raked metal. The bars buckled with a screech. Stun team, fire! Captain Baska barked. Soldiers leveled rifles. Blue arcs crackled to life. Eli sprinted forward. Hold, it's not the beast. Something's wrong. He slammed the gate override. Dashed inside before Baska could counterman. Sivra whirled. Fangs buried inches from Eli's face. Hot breath washed over him, reeking of the irritant. Easy big guy. Eli raised empty hands. Locked eyes. Tick! Sibra's roar cut short. Pupils dilated. Pine twisted its massive frame. Eli nodded. Started the code. Tapped his chest. Pine iri? Thumb. To torso. Sivra blinked once. No. Eli pointed to head. Here? Tick tick! Yes, Eli circled, slow. Sivra tracked him, muscles coiled. Nose? Smell bad? Tick, tick, affirmativa. Sivra pawed the ground near the canister. Shards of metal glinted. Eli knelt, gagged at the stench. Grabbed the twisted tube, yanked it free, hurled it out the gate. The irritant cloud dispersed. Sivra shuddered, sniffed Eli's sleeve. Nuzzled once. Baska stormed the gate. Ward, out now. Eli backed up. Hand on Sibra's flank. Clear. Stand down. Rifles lowered. The rival envoy stared, scales paling. Karun's clothes dug into his throne. Odrin melted into the crowd. Wet beaded his frills. Captain Baska snatched the canister from the sand. Sniffed. Eyes narrowed. This is proscribed venom extract. Pen breach grade. Toward Odrin, marched through courtiers, scattering like leaves. You. Baska thrust a canister under Odrin's snout. Explain? Odrin sputtered. Routine maintenance. The human's methods, unstable. Planted during parley. Baska's voice, dropped lethal. Arrest him. Full guard. 2 soldiers seized Odrin's arms. Thrashed. Emperor! This outsider corrupts. Karun raised a claw. Silent. Eyes birthed into the chamberlain. Zebra rumbled low, pressed its massive head against Ellie's shoulder. Warmth seeped through his tunic. Ellie stroked the spines. Steady pressure. Good call, buddy. Rifles half-raise. Secured the beast. Zebra shifted, blocked the gate with its bulk. Fangs gleamed, growl, vibrated the ground. Baska halted his team. Stand down. Yo, all of you. The rival envoy cleared its throat. Imperium intrigue? We came for terms, not circus. Ellie stepped beside Shivra, hand on its neck. Not circus. Sabotage. Odrin wanted the rampage. Frain the beast. Remove me. Karun leaned forward. Proof? Baska held up the canister. Fingerprints. Sentry leads to his robes. Odrin snarled from custody. The human bewitches it against tradition. Sivra's tail lashed. Bump Ellie protectively. Ellie met Harun gaze. Tradition mouse handlers. My way talks first. Sivra chooses now. The beast leaned harder. Ellie's shoulder ached under the weight. Trust solidified in that press. Courtiers murmured. Scholars flushed with shock. Karun's remote stayed pocketed. Release the envoy drone. Party resumes. The rival admiral's voice boomed again. Terms? Or we glass the pits. Ellie glanced at Sivra. Tick-tick. From the beast. What the first? Ellie said. Then why'd you attack? No glass. Aliens. The envoy hesitated. Claws flex. Extended. One toward Ellie. Sivra slow blinked. No snap. Klaus clasped palm. Firm. Baska dragged Odrin away. Interrogation chamber. Now. Karun rose. Human method expands. Sivra leads vanguard with word. Ellie grinned. Sivra's head stayed glued to his shoulder. Fleet shadows deepened overhead. Alerts pulsed faint. But Sivra blocked any threat at the gate. Bond sealed. Odrin whispers had failed. Trust turned blade outward. The rival envoy nodded. Water accepted. Speak your why, human. Ellie gripped Sivra's spines. Pine makes enemies. Talk makes packs. Sivra rumbled agreement. Fangs betted not threat, but challenge to the skies. Karun watched. Respect flickered in alien eyes. The courtiers bowed low. Human way spread. One betrayal down. Fleet inbound. Sivra notched Ellie forward. They strode as one. Our lake ignited. Compassion's fire. Baska, comet from the shadows. More leaks detected. Odrin, not alone. Ellie's jousted. Sivra growled sink. New shadows steered. Trust tested deeper. Ellie vaulted onto Sivra's back as the pen gates groaned open. The beast bounded into the pit arena. Sand spread under massive paws. Rival shuttle screamed low, bombardment ports glowing. Karun's forces scrambled. Baska's teams formed ranks. Flank the dropships, Ellie yelled. Sivra left wretch. Tick-tick Sivra Bert. Laptadun. Klaus shredded a landing strut. Ellie clung spines. Directed bends. Exhaust burst now. Sivra exhaled plasma hot. Shuttle's beard smoking. No losses. Human precision. Met beast fury. Odrin's allies scattered in the stands. Baska pursued. Karaun gripped throne. Expand. Al. Yield or burn. Ellie tapped calm. Land. Talk. Sivra roared challenge. Fangs to stars. Aliens brewed in chaos. Trust delivered forge. But a Shadowrun slipped perimeter. Armed. Sivra scented it first. Head snapped up. Ellie drew blade. Hunt. They charge. Bond unbreakable. Court held breath. Massacre averted. One claw at a time. Emperor Karun slammed his claw on the throne arm. Release, Sivra. Let the beasts rip the rival envoys apart. Ellie Ward stood firm in the throne room center. Cordius hissed behind him. The air thickened with vesh anticipation, fear as policy. Sivra's pen gates rattled in the distance. "No," Eli said. His voice cut clean through the murmurs. Harun's multifaceted eyes narrowed. "You refuse the Imperium's command, Softskin?" Eli met the gaze. "Fear won buying allies. Control will. Give me, Sivra, unrestrained. Joe, escort your rivals through the palace. Non-lethal." Chamberlain Otherin stepped forward, ropes swirling. "Insanity!" The beast mouse handlers. "It will slaughter you first." Captain Relbaska gripped her plasma lance tighter. Her squad shifted, eyes on Ellie. Karun leaned forward. Mandibles clicked. "Prove it. Fail. And both die." Ellie nodded. Signaled the pen. Gates groaned open. Sivra exploded into the corridor. Massive paws thundered. Espinas along her back quivered. Fangs gleamed under palace lights. She locked eyes on Ellie, yellow slits dilating. Handlers scattered. Gortios froze. Ellie raised empty hands. "No whip, no collar. Easy, girl. Walk with me." Sivra halted, chest heaved. A low rumble built in her throat. Ellie clicked his tongue, soft, rhythmic. Tick, tick, tick. Pattern from their first sessions. Language of clicks and breaths pierced from her growls. She tilted her head. Paws shifted. "Forward," Ellie said. A stepped ahead. Sivra matched pace. Flank to flank. No chain. They moved into the grand hall. Rival delegation waited at the far end. Scaled diplomats from the Creel Concord, entourages bristling with concealed blades. Karun watched from his dais. Odrin whispered urgently. Ellie kept stride even. Left turn. Steady. Sivra pivoted smooth. Thighs whipped low, not whipping courtiers edged walls. A Creel guard, twitch, drew a Bibro dagger. Monster. It lunged at Sivra's haunch. Sivra whirled. Paws slammed the attacker down. Body weight pinned him. Ribs creaked. Fangs hovered inches from throat. Hot breath washed his face. The guard froze. "Hold," Ellie commanded. Sivra's jaws stayed open. Muscles tensed. "Release." She lifted off. Padded back to Ellie's side. Dicked chops. Once. The guard scrambled. Retreated white-scaled. Baska squad exiled. Spears lowered. Ellie faced the rivals. "Your escort." To the parley chamber. Diplomats stared. One murmured, "Impossible." They fell in line. Sivra flanked the group. Ellie led. No blood. No chains. Karun rose as they approached the dais. "Disobedience." Sivra ignored kill border. Sivra growled low. Pressed against Ellie. "Kill it." Karun snarled. Guards advanced. Lances charging. Ellie stepped between. Chest to spines. Hands out. Touch hair. You lose us both. Odrin sputters. Treason. Baska hesitated. Emperor. Karun's claws slashed air. "The beast defies me. It trusts me," Ellie said. "More than fear. Deploy her my way against real threats. Not this." Silence gripped the hall. Sibra's warmth radiated against Ellie's back. Her head lowered, nudged his shoulder. Deliberate. Karun's mandibles worked. Eyes flicked to Sibra, then Ellie. "One chance, human. Brevos plot betrayal. Sibra enforces." Ellie nodded. "With me." Hours later, alarms blared. Revo shuttles streamed over the palace. Bombardment ports glowed. Red, Ellie belted onto Sibra's back as pen gates groaned open. The beast bounded into the pit arena. Sand sprayed under massive paws. Karun's forces scrambled below. Baska's teams formed ranks. Flanked the dropships. Ellie yelled over comms. Wind whipped his face. Sibra's muscles bunched beneath him. "Sibra left reach. Tick, tick." She veered sharp. Lead to Dune in one surge. Klaus shredded. A landing strut on the lead shuttle. Metal screamed. Ellie clung to her spines. Gritted teeth against G-forces. Exhaust burst now. Sibra inhaled deep. Bends along her flanks flared plasma hot. Shuttle veered, smoking. Trailing fire. No pilot loss. Clean disable. Second shuttle dove low. Turret spun. Draw right. Ellie directed. Sibra twisted midair. Ducked paws. Landed rolling. Shook off-send. Charged. Odrin's allies scattered in the stands. Shadowy figures exposed. Baska pursued, lances flashing. Karun gripped his throne from the overlook. Expand. All sectors.
Fleet lead ship hailed over open channels. Yield or burn, Vesh.
Eli tapped his gum. Land. Tak. Sibra roared beneath him, fangs 2 stars. Challenge shook the dunes. Shuttles. Bang. Touchdown, Ragged. But a shadow drone slipped perimeter, cloaked. Arm pilot humming. Sibra ascended it first. Head snapped up. Nostril flared. Eli drew his blade compact vibro knife from envoy kit. Hunt. They charged. Sibra's paws devoured ground. Eli leaned low. Drone uncloaked. Missiles locked. Sibra leapt. Jaws clamped. Wing shook. Eli slashed control banners midair. Thundering spiral. Crashed in flames. Court held breath from the heights. Massacre averted. Baska commit from shadows. More leaks. Odrin not alone. Eli's jaw set. Sibra growled in sync. Deep harmony. New shadows stirred in the stands. Armen figures rose. Karun watched. Respect flickered in alien eyes. Courtiers bowed low. Sibra nudged Eli forward. They strode as one toward the landed shuttles. Parley ignited.
Rival lead-in voice stepped from hatch.
Scaled face pale. You tamed the untamable. Eli dismounted, hand on Sibra's flank. Earned, not tamed. Garun descended the stairs, flanked by Baska. Odrin trailed, eyes darting. Terms. Harun boomed. Surrender, spies. Join or perish. Envoy glanced at Sibra. We yield. Under this pack. Handshakes exchange. Claws to flesh. No blood. But Odrin edged closer. Whispered to a guard. Blade glinted. Sibra's ears flicked. She wheeled. Pinned the guard with paw. Blight skitter. Odrin bolted. Traitor. Baska back. Squad converged. Eli signal. Sibra track. She bounded after. Eli sprinted beside, nose to ground. She followed scent trail through corridors. Odrin burst into archive wing. Activated console. Strike now. Sibra shoulder door. Splinters flew. Odrin spun. Drew hidden pistol. Feared. Bolt grazed Sibra's shoulder. Beer roared. Charged. Eli dove. Tackled Odrin. Breast snap under knee. Pistol clattered. Enough. Eli panted. Cuffed him with zip ties. Sibra loomed. Licked wound. Growled satisfaction. Baska arrived. Securio. Harun entered. Survey it. You saved the throne. Eli stood. We did. Sibra pressed head to Eli's chest, rumbled approval. Fleet inbound, reversed course. Hayes begged terms. Garaon, address court. Witness, human way spreads. Courtiers bowed. Whispers turned awe. Baska saluted Eli. Control without chains. I see it. Eli scratched Sibra's spines. She leaned in. Trust, solid. One betrayal down. But Baska's come back again. Perimeter breach. Deeper plot. Shadows steered anew. Sibra tensed. Eli gripped blade. Bond tested deeper. Days blurred into drills. Sibra shadowed Eli through palace halls. No pen. No words. Courtiers parted, offered treats, raw haunches. She accepted from Eli's hand only. Karun summoned. Brivels integrate. Sibra guards al. Eli nodded. Together. First joint patrol. Sibra led. Eli at flank. Baska's team trailed. Intruder in Ben's Creel holdout. Armed. Sibra scented. Pounced pin. Waited Eli's release. Holdout surrendered. Mercy? Baska hauled him. Human mercy. Word spread. Besh quartz mimic clicks. Sibra tolerated. Odrin's allies rooted out. Confessions poured. Karun hosted feast. To the bond. Eli raised cup. Sibra at feet. Head on lap. Eyes met Karun's. Respecte mutuo. But the scout drone feet flickered on wall screen. Rebel fleet massing border. Siv Eli slammed his translator gauntlet against the judgment plinth. By ancient bitch. Guess. Right. I invoke public reckoning. Here, in the central forum, before the court. Gasps ripple through the tiered arena. Thousands of fish nobles lean forward, their iridescent scales flashing under dome lights. Emperor Karun's platform loomed central, elevated above the sandpit. Sivra's reinforced pen squatted below it, bars humming with restrained fields. Odrin, the chamberlain, shot to his feet beside the throne. Outlandered insolence. Guess right binds envoys, not accusations. Eli held his ground. Dust swirled at his boots from the forum winds. His heart pounded steady. He'd memorized the rite during sleepless nights decoding Vesh law slates. Insolence? I stand for the throne's survival. Cal Captain Baska, let evidence speak. Karun's claws tapped his armrest. The Emperor's golden eyes narrowed, mandibles clicking once. Granted, procede, human, amuseus, or die. Baska marched in from the shadowed archers, flanked by 2 guards hauling data crystals. The captain's uniform gleamed, plasma rifle slung disciplined across his back. He saluted Harun sharp, then faced the court. Eli caught the flicker of respect in Baska's gaze, earned from shared patrols, quiet talks in guard barracks. Emperador, nobles. Baska activated the first crystal. All projections bloomed, Odrin's sealed orders, timestamps glowing. Chamberlain Odrin sabotaged the envoy's credentials, falsified Bespan overrides. Goal, provoke Sivra during the envoy's audience. Murmurs swelled. Odrin surged forward. Lies, fabricated by this human pet. Baska ignored him. Second crystal. Intercepted comms. Cardon's own voice echoed, cold. Weaponize the beast. Maul the outsider. Demonstrate Imperium strength to the envoys. Eli's stomach tightened. He'd suspected coercion. Sivra's flinches at throne commands, the pain collars hidden under her spines. But hearing Harun's decree chilled him. The Emperor sat stone still, face unreadable. Court erupted. Treason. The beast unbound. Nobles clutch perches, tails lashing. Harun silenced them with a raised claw. Truth confirmed. Odrin striped. Exil. Guard seized the Chamberlain. Odrin snarled. Thrashing. The Iman destabilizes us. Hill. A backhand silenced him. Baska turned to Eli. Your evidence chained the plot. No, yours. Eli nodded. Go luck to prove Sivra's loyalty wasn't forged in pain. He approached the pen gate, key crystal from Baska in hand. Sivra paced inside, massive form coiling, 10 feet of muscle, spines, riser edge, jaws that crushed armor. Her yellow eyes fixed on him, nostrils flaring at his scent. No growl. Recognition. Card held breath. Carahun leaned forward. Uman, she mouths without command. Eli slotted the crystal. Gate hiss open. Restrained fields died. Sivra tense, claws gouging stone. A step back deliberate, palms open. No leash, no prot. Sivra, choice yours. She exploded forward. Sand sprayed. Court screamed. Sivra bounded across the pit, past Odrin's crumpled form, past Baska's braced team. Straight for Charun's platform. Quartz-level rifles. Garun rose, commanding voice booming. Submit. Sivra bolted the platform edge. Claws scribed thronestone inches from the Emperor's feet. She loomed over him, breath hot, spines flare. Catafrost. First time Eli saw fear crack the monarch's poise. Then Sivra turned. Pad down. Ignored the throne. Passed Baska's salute. Stopped at Eli's side. Pressed her massive head against his chest. Rumbled deep, vibrating his ribs. Truss forum exploded. Cheers. Bows, stunned silence from holdout. Eli scratched her jaw, spines gentle. Like he'd learned in stolen pen visits. She leaned in, eyes half-lidded. Garun descended the platform stairs slow, stood before them. Autonomy, not chains. His voice carried awe. Human Eli Ward, appointed interspecies liaison. Sivra works with you. Imperium evolves. Courtiers chanted. Bond. Baska grinned, faint. Rifle lowered. Odrin's guards dragged him out. Plot shattered. Eli met Harun's gaze. Respect flowed both ways. No demands, just action proven. Sivra's tail curled protective around his legs, but alarms blared. Dumb screens flickered. Scout drone feet. Rebel fleet massing the border. Krill banners bawled. Karun's mandibles clicked. Deeper shadows. Sivra tans. Eli gripped his blade. Bond tested anew. Days blurred into drills. After the forum triumph, Zebra shadowed Ellie through palace halls. No pen, no guards. Courtiers parted wide, offering raw hauch on platters. She accepted only from Ellie's hand, crunching bone with precise snaps. Karan summoned them to the war chamber. Holo map swirled. Rebel vectors closing. Rivals integrate or die. Zebra wards all now. Ellie nodded. Gauntlet syncing fresh data. Together. First joint patrol launched. Zebra led, nose low to vents. Ellie flank, blade loose. Baska's team trailed respectful. Intruder sent hit. Zebra pounced into a grate. Krill holdout spilled out, blaster raised. She pinned him, jaws hovering throat. Waited. Release, Ellie said calm. She eased back. Holdout dropped weapon trembling. Mercy? Baska hold him up. Human mercy. Word spread fast. Best words mimicked Ellie's clicks. Zebra's calm signal. She tolerated them. Spineless relaxed. Odrin's allies trembled. Confessions poured under Vasquez's interrogations. One confessed border codes to the rebel fleet. Karun hosted feast in Grand Hall. Crystal goblets clinked. To the bond. Ellie raised his cap. Zebra lounged at his feet, head heavy on his lap. Mutual respect gleamed. No conqueror, no pet. Scout drone feet flickered on the wall screen. Rebel fleet mass thicker, hulls bristling weapons. Zebra growled low. Ellie scratched deeper. Blade ready. One betrayal down. Deeper plots. Stirred. Perimeter. Alarms wailed. Next dawn. Baska burst into Ellie's quarters. Breach. Ben's compromised. Creel saboteurs. Zebra surged up, already scenting. Ellie grabbed gear. They raced corridors. Air claws sparking stone. Guards fell in behind, mimicking clicks. Ben's exploded outward. Trick Creel. Drop it. Blades whirring. Zebra barreled. First. Slash. Pin. Hold. Ellie dodged. A thrust. Blade parrying. Zebra flank! She wheeled. Spinous raking air. Creel yelped. Disarmed. Vasquez's team mopped up. Las Saboteur, Lungeth et Ili Zebra intercepted. Jaws clamping arm gentle. No kill. Waited his word. Secure, Ellie ordered. Vasquez cuffed him. Your way spreads. No massacre. Court whispers turn awe. Human compassion. Beast loyalty. Karun watched from balcony. Nodded on this. Fleet hails big terms. Days later. Karaun addressed the assembled court. Witness. Human way integrates. Rebels kneel. Courtiers bowed deep. Zebra pressed head to Ellie's chest again, rumbling approval. But Baska's calm buzzed mid-celebration. Perimeter breach. Deeper plot. Core reactors. Shadows steered in the underlevels. Zebra tensed. Hackles up. Ellie gripped blade tighter. Bond solid. Test. Deeper still. Ellie led the dive into palace depths. Beeps, hissed, steam, lights, flickered, red, Zebra's nose twitch, palm, signatures. Baska squat, fanned out, breaths, ragged. Split, Ellie whispered. Zebra, track lead. She bounded ahead, silent now. Ellie followed boots, silent on grates. Explosive, cage glowed ahead, Krill demo team wiring. Zebra charge. First Krill spun, too slow. Bean. Second fired, Ellie rolled, blade sinking, hilt deep. Terra fled, Baska's shot dropped him. Clear, Ellie called. Disiva no set the bombs. Careful. Diffuse under his gauntlet scans. Karun arrived as they surfaced. You saved the throne again. Ellie stood straight. We did. Fleet, inbound, reversed course that night. Hails flooded terms. Belvanguard docked under white flags. Their commander knelt before Karun. Eyes on Zebra at Ellie's side. The beast chooses human. We yield. Imperium stabilized. Ellie scratched Zebra's spines. She leaned, heavy thrust ironclad. But scout reports ping. Outer rim stirrings. New shadows. Ellie smiled faint. Compassion deliberate. Action chosen. Ready.